Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first podcast of season 34 of Survivor Game Changers. And here with me today is the one, the only lovely Josiah Mama. What is your name, Josiah Mama?
My name is Pat. And
Hi.
I'm glad to be here podcasting with you.
And I'm glad to have you on the show as well. And first we'll be talking about the Survivor contestants that we have for this season.
Okay.
Pretty big lot of them. Well, we always have a big lot to start off with. Let's go straight to who is your favorite to win. Not who you want to win so much, but who do you think has the best chance of taking home the title of Sole Survivor?
Well, for me, I think fresh in my brain would be Ty. He was really good. Ty was excellent. He almost won. I think Aubrey has a good chance. But who's the contestant who's won twice?
Who's the contestant that has won twice already?
Already, yeah. Now, if you've won
That's
twice,
Sandra.
you've got to know a thing or two to have won Survivor twice.
Sandra also believes that she has very good luck. She's a very lucky woman.
Okay, yeah, I'm not against believing in luck for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against that. So, I would bet she will be up in the top 3.
She kind of plays a role of a tough mama chick.
People are going to be targeting her, though, aren't they?
You would think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
she's won twice already, but
Yeah.
some people might say, well, there's no way she could win a third time. Who would give her the money again?
I know. But I don't even know how anybody wins twice. How does that happen? What do you do to win twice in Survivor? What is it?
She won the second time basically because she was up against Russell.
Oh, okay.
And she kind of made it a point to fight the Russell. And she got to the finals with Russell, and she took that all the way home to the bank.
So in Survivor or any competition, I find that when there's a difference between I want to win and I want to beat someone. And I find that as soon as somebody gets stuck in the mindset, I have to beat so-and-so, and they name them, I find that changes the whole game for them. And it's not a pure win. It's not really I'm the best, but I have to beat somebody.
It becomes very personal at that point, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a better game. I think people play a better game when they're not distracted with a specific person that they want to beat.
Oh, you think they play better that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they see everything and they filter everything through, I have to beat that person, because it becomes, there's something about their personality, they're argumentative with them in the camp, and I just think it would be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
But to focus on the game, your plan, your strategy, how you're going to outwit people, not just one specific person that you want to beat. I think that's a downfall.
So are you going to put your money behind Sandra and say she wins it a third time?
You know, I think the odds are for Sandra.
Okay, you're putting the odds for Sandra to win a third time. Survivor 3 times.
But there are a lot of people on here I like, and so I'm going to enjoy watching them play. I'm going to enjoy.
Who do you want to win? Who's your?
I
who
want
are you
Ozzy
supporting?
to win.
You want Ozzy to win.
I love Ozzy. Ozzy is a Survivor icon. Don't you think?
He's an icon, but I think he took a lot of flack in the second and third season for being a bit of a negative nanny.
Was he?
Yeah, he kind of gave up when things weren't going his way. He kind of started, well, if you want to do it my way, then I'm out, kind of deal.
Well, I'm sure you learn a lot over the years. And he's been going since season 13. That's a lot of seasons ago.
You learn a lot, but you also become a lot more sour. I think he's become a little too sour over the years.
Well, we'll get to see that, won't we? We'll see if he's sour or sweet over the years.
Well, I've been doing some pre-gaming, and it looks pretty sour in the pre-gaming.
Okay, well, I have been doing no pre-gaming, so you are the expert, and I will give you that.
It's fine. You want Ozzy to Who do you want to be booted out first? Who gets the first boot award?
I think the first boot award, I don't know who it will be, but the girl who tries to use her sex appeal to get her way.
Oh, I know who that's going to be. That's
Who's
going to
it?
be Haley Ford.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a few of them in there who could be in the running for that, I'm sure. It's good for
Haley
ratings.
Ford or maybe Sierra Thomas.
Yeah, it could be.
Although it might not happen, although it might not be so obvious. It isn't always an obvious thing.
There's a lot of people in here that they're not fresh in my Survivor memory. So maybe as I watch, I'm going to enjoy seeing them do well. I do like Aubrey. I loved how she played her game. She's absolutely intelligent. And I love seeing someone with brains play a very strategic game.
It's like the counterpart to flirting with your looks. She kind of flirts with her brains and kind of like gets you to empathize and to kind of feel things.
But the receptivity to brain flirtation is quite less than the receptivity to boob flirtation.
Maybe, but one might have a slightly longer shelf life than the other.
I think so. You're right about that. I agree.
All right, I would have to say that I'm going to predict a winner, and I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes, and whoever I land on is
you're going to throw the dart.
Oh, yeah, I'm throwing the dart right here.
Uh,
It's landing on Malcolm. Okay, my man Malcolm.
You like Malcolm?
I like Malcolm. He's a pretty likable guy. Some people criticize him for being a little bit braggadocious, but I like that in a guy. I think he does it in a way that's a little bit self-demeaning. I don't think he's completely full of himself.
Okay. I don't know if there's anybody in here who's really full of himself like we've seen in other seasons. Are there?
And this season, who might be full of himself? Maybe Brad Culpepper might be. I think what's his name? Caleb Reynolds might be a little bit like that a bit. They call him Beast Mode Cowboy. I think he even calls himself Beast Mode Cowboy. I mean, when you start to buy into the hype that much, I think it starts going.
What about Troyzan? You can't get a name like Troyzan and feel like you're not earn the right to brag.
I think we might have a few characters like that this season,
the guys, right? There's going to be a few guys. It's going to be alpha male. It's going to be dripping with the alpha male competitive. I could pee further than you think.
Could be.
Right?
But I really want Aubrey to win, and I think it's great that Aubrey's in here again. I think she deserves another chance. Too. I think she was, probably, if not deserved to win her season, she came close to deserving to win. I thought she played an excellent game, and
so why didn't they vote for her to win?
Well, I don't want to get into that point too much, but I think the people who were in the game didn't see everything that she was doing, and so they couldn't tell how good of a game she was actually playing.
Her strategy was very subtle.
She didn't have enough of a cheerleader, and I really felt like there was two groups in that season. There were two very distinct groups in that season. There was kind of like a cool posse, the two alpha males with their girls hanging on.
Yeah.
And they had Ty training for a while in there. But then they let go of Ty, or Ty managed to escape from that. And that's when the season sort of turned around, and Aubrey was not in that group. But I think that's actually the real reason why she lost that season, because she wasn't in that group, and that group did not want someone outside of their group to win the season, even if they were better.
Now, you said something very interesting that piqued my interest before we started recording, that Jeff Probst should be a contestant on Survivor. What would that be like?
I think it'd be really interesting, but I think it would have to be more than just Jeff Probst. I think it would have to be something like maybe
Donald Trump,
a returnee season, or maybe just a season with celebrities or something like that.
Or the winners, all winners.
At the very least, Jeff Probst would need a counterpart to sort of balance out his presence in the game.
Who could that be?
Maybe it could
Russell.
be the producer of the show.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe the producer of the show. What's his face?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
They always show his name at the end of Survivor, right?
Yeah.
Burn something.
That guy, yeah. Well, we know who you're talking about.
Burn something.
Yeah.
They should get him and Jeff Probst to be like leaders on 2 different clans. That'd be funny. And then maybe have Dr. Joe as well. It could be a 3 clan. Dr. Joe.
Who's Dr. Joe?
Dr. Joe's like a doctor who keeps coming up every once in a while on the show. Because
You're not talking about Dr. Phil. Oh, Dr. Joe, the guy who comes on the beach.
Yeah,
and
comes on the beach, checks
and
you, and he's the one who helped
decides.
during the time that they had that big exhaustion deal in that one season
the
where they had to
dehydration.
take Caleb Reynolds out.
Yeah.
He was there. They call him Dr. Joe. That'd be neat to have.
That's true, Dr. Joe. What about some of the people who plan and come up with the challenges?
You know, it would be great. We don't know those people, so it would be a little bit different. But I think those people who've probably been working on Survivor would love a chance to play it.
I would think so.
Love to be on it.
Wouldn't that be great? Like a crew Survivor.
Yeah, the Survivor
crew
family
versus all the winners or something like that. A Survivor family.
I think it'd be great, but I don't know if it would be great TV. I don't know if those people working on the show would be the best personalities for TV exposure.
Just knowing that they've been a part of it and knowing that they've put together the challenges all these years and the food challenges they've come up with, the rewards, that would be so awesome.
I'd like to see the reactions, but at the same time, Survivor is a game about characters.
Yeah.
And they do try to find characters.
True.
Tony is a huge character. Aubrey's got, his character. Michaela's a big character. These guys are all really big characters.
They are. It's going to be a very TV entertainment season, definitely.
And who do I want to get booted out first?
Mm-hmm.
I really want, I hate to say it, I'm going to say it, Ozzy. I want him to get booted out first. And I want his Survivor line to end here. No more Ozzy, please. I didn't like him from the beginning. I didn't like him at all. I don't know what it was. I just didn't like him. Everyone said he's a challenge beast, but there was that. Even in the first season, didn't look that strong in challenges. In the second season, he didn't look very strong.
Maybe it wasn't the challenges. Maybe it was in the camp, how he could provide at camp so well.
I thought it was a challenge flop. Like, there are some big guys who always tend to flop in challenges for some reason. Anyway, that's enough of our preview. Right. Did you want to add anything before we go ahead and start watching the first episode?
We're going to watch the first episode. It's kind of sad that Dad's not here to watch, too, because this is really his thing. I feel like I'm having Survivor cheating on Dad.
Yeah, Josiah Dada is not here to watch with us.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to listen. He's probably going to be the only listener of our podcast. So if you're listening, Josiah Dada,
we're thinking of you. We're missing you, too. And for any other listener, enjoy the show. Enjoy the season. And
sorry, Josiah Dada, that Coach could not come back again this season. Yeah. I know you would have loved that. But we're probably going to have to say that you're probably going to like Troyzan a lot. He's probably a lot like you, I think.
I think Jeff
He's about the same age.
I think Dad and Jeff would be good friends.
Look at Troyzan. He's 54. How old is Dad? 50, 56?
5. No,
wow.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I think Jeff Probst and Dad would be good friends.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Troyzan's like, he's almost like Coach, too. He's got a very Coach-like aura to him. So, Dad, we'll root for Troyzan a little bit for your sake. We'll see how well he does. Hello again, and we are now speaking to you the morning after. Yes, we've watched the premiere 2 hour of Survivor, and now we're going to give our thoughts post-sleep, now that we've had a night to sleep on it and really let our thoughts sit for a while. We can give you some deep diving into this epic beginning of season 34. Let's start off with Sandra. While I was watching, couldn't help notice that her name starts with the word sand. I like that.
Yeah, it's earthy.
Yeah, and most of these survivors spend a lot of time on sand, so it's kind of really fitting, right?
True, right? The queen of the sand.
Sand Queen.
Yeah.
That should be her new nickname, Sand Queen. So the Sen she's very fond of calling herself the Queen.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of throne play. What do you make of Sandra's very outspoken nature in the first episode?
Well, anytime someone declares themselves royalty, it's automatic target on her head. It's very Napoleonic. She has put the crown on her head in this game, and now she has something to protect. So she not only wants to win, but now she has to protect her position as queen.
She's created this lore, or there's been this lore created around her, and she's really believing in it herself. She's bought into it 100%.
Yes. And she's writing a script for it, and she wants everybody else to read her script.
Who do you think is going to be able to chop that tree down, if anyone?
Well, you know the old saying, the people who are closest to you. So right now, who's that guy? Is what's his name? Tarzan?
Troyzan.
Troyzan. He looks like he's getting in there nice and close. And he's going to be maybe somebody who can help, what's the word? Trick Sandra into thinking she's secure. And he can be the one that people might persuade later on down the road. He can be the new king to replace Tony. As long as he doesn't declare himself the king, he could be the new king.
There are a lot of times that we've seen in the show when a survivor starts to feel really comfortable with their position and they're very confident. That often ends up being the time that they get voted off, that they get blindsided.
Yeah, they show it a lot. They show that person and all the conversations declaring their confidence and puppet master and I own this game.
We really thought that Sandra was being set up for a great fall by the end of the show. And the editors of the show did a great job of making us feel that Tony probably was going to be safe and that Sandra might have been a little too cocky, a little too overconfident. We're going to watch her get cut down right in front of everyone else, but we did not get that payoff.
I know. But why were we so cheering for Tony to get Sandra out that time? What was it? Why did we so instantly wish and hope that Sandra would be voted off?
Well, I think it's quite obvious why people generally love Tony. They love that his energy, his positive energy. He loves the game, and you can see the excitement, and you can feel that with him, and you would feel that how excited you might be if you were in his shoes, in his position. And he really loves talking it up to the camera and telling the audience exactly what's going on. And he's just a unique type of person that you really want to root for.
Yeah, we're gonna miss Tony. It's too bad.
Yeah.
But he did jump out a little neurotic at the beginning, and he just drew so much attention to himself, and people didn't like what he was doing.
Tony figured, well, I'm going to have a target on my back anyway, so I'll go all out and be super crazy guy that they expect me to be, I suppose.
Yeah, do you think that was a lot of his survivor persona, that he wanted to be that, or...
Is he playing up to his survivor persona? Do you think he's someone different outside the game, or do you think that's just who he is?
Well, I think he might be a little bit of that outside of the game, but he probably loves the feeling that comes with the fame and the notoriety. And so there's a lot of that in this game, too. There's a lot of ego, more than other games, perhaps, because these are all known and labeled great players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's like what the difference between being a freshman in high school and being a senior in high school. Once you've done it before, you've got that experience, you have a new confidence, and yeah, you really can kind of let your character come out. You've grown into it. But Sandra's really grown into it, hasn't she?
Yeah, she really has. Very much so. It's just a little bit obnoxious.
If everyone else are high school seniors, she's probably a college sophomore or junior by now. She's just like out of the ballpark.
She's like into Mean Girls. The way she talked to Tony at the end when he was leaving the tribal council. She just was Mean Girl through and through.
She really let it go.
She did. So was that the true Sandra, or is that just her survivor persona?
I think Sandra comes into this game thinking she's going to win. She's confident she's going to win. I think if you're going to win, you have to come into it thinking you're going to win. If you don't think you're going to win, there's a good chance you won't win. You kind of create your own destiny in that sense.
Yeah. There's the relationship part to it, though. The the people side of it. So she could be messing that up with the way she finished at the tribal council when Tony went out.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Tony did kind of bring it upon himself with his nature to spy, and he goes to spy, and he's digging his hole, but then Sandra and Troyzan walk in, and he can't finish his hole in time, so he scatters, and still trying to spy. I like that whole crawling scene. He's crawling through over the sand.
It was priceless. But if only he could have heard what they were saying, we would probably still be watching him.
Yeah, I think he just kind of heard his name a little bit, but it didn't exactly hear exactly what was being said.
Yes.
So he probably just assumed that they were saying something bad about him, that they wanted to vote him off, so he confronted them, and I think that was his undoing right there.
That was his undoing for sure.
From that point on, it was him or Sandra, and in the end, Sandra won out.
Yes, she did.
So let's move over to the other tribe. That's all right. We'll go to the other tribe. We didn't get to see them as much in this episode, mostly because that tribe was spared to tribal councils, so they were fine. And we kind of got to see a little bit of a conflict starting to brew between good old rivals, Ozzy and Suri.
Even though it was, what did they say, 8 years ago? 8?
Yeah, 8 years ago that the whole thing started.
There still could be this bubbling under the surface.
Is it just me, or does Ozzy really seem to be carrying a lot of baggage with him?
Well,
I haven't seen Ozzy look so somber, look so almost depressed, I would say.
He does not look like he's relaxed out there the way he was in the very beginning, but that goes back again to the whole pretext of this season, that these are the experts, and now they've got to be that, and that's a lot of pressure. They all have something riding on this. There's ego at play and reputation at play, and it's not like the freshmen coming in, I have nothing to lose. Here in this season, there really is something to lose, besides the $1 million.
Well, this is Ozzy's fourth attempt. We have to remember that. So he's lost 3 times. So.
Is there anybody on here that's been on Survivor more than Ozzy?
There are a few. There are a handful. I think there are 3 survivors who've been there 4 times, including Boston Rob, I believe, has been on it 4 times. Rupert.
But I mean on this season.
I think he's the one who's been on the most.
Okay.
For the 4th time is the most of anyone on this season of Survivor. So we had Ozzy and Suri, and right off the bat we hear that Ozzy sees Suri as a threat, although he's keen to state that it's not anything about bad blood. He just thinks she's a weakness on the tribe and that he wants to keep the tribe strong.
Yeah. It was a very good, non-emotional response.
Yeah, but how much of that is the truth, though?
I don't know. We'll see.
What's really underneath the skin there for Ozzy? Ozzy and Suri have a talk in front of everyone, which Suri initiates, it appears. I don't think Ozzy's going to tell Suri to her face in front of everyone that he doesn't want to play with her, that he's not really cool with being on the same tribe as her.
He's not looking for campfire drama.
But, and then Suri feels, okay, that we're cool. But then she has a talk with...
Ty. Ty, no filter. Ty. Or did he do that on purpose?
Yeah, I think he had the intention to sort of tip her off.
Yes, to stir up some doo-doo between them.
He wants to stir stuff up. As long as the target's not on him, as long as 2 other people are fighting. I mean, we've seen that with Sandra and Tony fighting. Someone stated that as long as they're fighting, and that's fine, that's good for me. They're fighting. I'm outside of that. That's good.
Yeah.
Ozzy and Suri might have a nice little conflict.
Even if it was accidental, it still works for Ty.
How much of a part of someone's strategy do you think it is to try to stir up conflict?
I think it's a lot.
It's a big part of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because as soon as there's a feeling of conflict, whether that person is good for the team and the challenges or not, I think personal conflict is one of the highest motivators for wanting to get someone off the island. It's
very hard to set it aside for the best of your game or for the best of the tribe. I think you've seen people go into personal vendettas and that actually hurting them in the end because maybe if they'd worked together, things would have been better. for them.
Exactly. It gets into that whole distraction of they lose sight of what I want to win, and it becomes I need to beat somebody.
I think I'd love to see a great play done on Survivor is two people manufacturing a conflict, but actually underneath being allies.
Ah.
I would love to see a play made like that. I want to see some sort of Inception type play where there's levels beneath the levels.
Now that would be game changer.
That would be a game changer. That's something I would work on. I think you kind of saw in the last Survivor, Adam, when he tried to get back together in the good graces of Tyler,
Yes.
even after voting off his girlfriend on the show.
Yes.
He was trying to mend the fence, maybe have some sort of secret alliance there. Unfortunately, Tyler was probably not smart enough to realize that how good of a move that would have been for him to do that.
Yes.
But I thought Adam kind of almost got there. I think it would be fun to see some other people maybe doing that. I think if you do that, everyone thinks, oh, these two people are fighting, everyone feels safe. But if those two people are actually on the same team and maybe they each have a couple alliances on both sides of the fence, they call on those alliances and then they target someone else.
I guess the difficulty with that would be when people who are not in on the secret alliance of the who look like enemies, when they start trying to choose who they vote off. And so they'll come to you and say, hey, we're going to vote off so-and-so. And that's actually your secret alliance. That would cause a lot of inner turmoil.
But if you're the one having conflict with someone else on the other tribe, people aren't going to come up to you and say, I want to vote this person off. They're expecting you to come to them and say, oh, I'm really mad at this person. We're going to target them.
True.
But what you do instead is you go to them and you say, I really don't like them, but I feel like he's really close to this person. I feel it would be a better move right now to get rid of this person because he's really close to them.
And he helps us with the challenges.
Yeah.
But there's a new, they're dropping their buffs.
Oh, let's talk about that. Yeah.
In the next episode.
We've already got to reveal that there's going to be a tribe swap, or maybe they're going to, I think they're switching to 3-tribe mode.
Wow.
Next episode.
So that whole pretend enemies would be excellent.
Yeah.
At this point.
Sure. I think so. I think it would work great. It would be a great strategy. Pretend enemies. If any survivors out there, any Survivor contestants, future contestants are listening, all 0 of you, please think about that.
Yes.
Think about that strategy. So, yeah, I don't really want to get into what we think about that. We didn't get to see very much about who's going to be on which tribe. But it does shake things up. It would be interesting to see maybe if Ozzy and Sari are still in the same tribe.
Who gets Sandra on their tribe and how they respond to that.
Yeah, be interesting.
Queen.
I think that's interesting. I think whenever you put people into new groups, there's a whole process of figuring out where you are in that group. What's your position? You jostle for positions. And then that is a big part of Survivor. I enjoy watching that, seeing who kind of falls in the bottom and who rises to the top.
And then what people's reactions are going to be when they come back and see that Tony was voted off.
Yeah, I think there'll be some interesting reactions. Yes. Definitely, yeah.
Yes. Was anybody enamored with Tony coming into this?
I thought there were. People seemed to like him based on what they said in Tony's in Tribal Council, where Tony was voted off. People were saying that they liked him. How much of that might have been just sort of kissing up to him or making him feel safe in case he had an idol? Maybe they wanted him to feel like, oh, I'm safe. Looks like no one wants to vote me off. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to play my idol.
He perceived danger so easily, even when there was none. So anybody with a good perception in the game would have, not given Tony any reason to feel afraid of them.
But he still felt a bit afraid. I mean, he did vote for Aubrey, which was one of his so-called alliance members.
Yeah, Aubrey's face when she saw her name.
Yeah.
Aww.
She was scared.
Well, her whole season was like that last time.
It'll be interesting to see what tribe Aubrey goes to. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Ozzy's your favorite. Well, I really like Tony's initial proposed alliance of the strong people, the big threats working together. I thought that was great. Tony just had to go mess it up. Sorry, Tony. you're gone, and you kind of have to just blame yourself for that. Let's talk about the other vote off.
Yeah. Who? It's almost kind of who was that again? For me.
What? Like Sierra. Okay. Sierra came in with pretty decent pedigree. She's a little bit of a seen as a wily player. She's definitely someone who's willing to shake it up a lot. And she's right off the bat, she's dropping names. She's dropping names, isn't she? She's telling everyone who to vote off.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they're all standing around the water hole, and she's telling everybody who it has to be. And she looks pretty confident at first until we get to the challenge where she kind of loses the puzzle bit of it. And after that, we kind of see her looking really down.
Yes.
And confident.
Because at this point, it really is who can perform in the challenges.
It's not when she gets voted off, it wasn't a huge surprise. Unlike Tony's, might have been a bit of a surprise because of the way the edit was leading us. But Sierra's vote off was a bit anticlimactic.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, you're right.
Someone has to go first. Unfortunately, it was Sierra. I like Sierra well enough, and I would like to see her a little bit longer. But someone has to be voted off first. Would have been funny if it had been Tony. Tony could have gone first, but Sierra was gunning for Tony. Sierra goes out, and Tony was next. Consequently, I don't know how that works. So I guess we've covered all we wanted to cover.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm surprised that nobody has really been seriously searching for the idol.
Except for Tony, sort of.
Well, sort of, but not really. He would say he was, but then he'd go and dig his hiding trench.
His spy trench.
Yeah. So that idol remains to be found. And, somebody has the advantage as well.
Yeah?
Who is that again?
Sierra. The other Sierra, I think.
Oh, okay.
The Sierra with the S-I-E-R-R-A.
Okay.
We got Cerie, Sierra, and Sierra.
Okay. So I'll be here again for next week's episode.
Yes, we will. We're fortunate to have Josiah Mama here for 2 episodes. We're going to have another podcast coming at you next week. We'll have all the information, all the juicy stuff talked about in depth, deep dive. So from Singbury, Thailand, this has been your very own podcast survivor. Bye.
Goodbye.